With man and machines, because we got a chance to see what's in store for Yeovilton's Air Day today. The event, which takes place in June, will mark the 30th anniversary of the Falklands conflict.
Many service personnel based at RNAS Yeovilton served in the South Atlantic. From Somerset, Bob Cruz reports.
30 years on from the Falklands conflict and the Lynx helicopter is still in action. In 1982 it was a relatively new aircraft. Today, at RNAS Yeovilton in Somerset, Falklands veterans gathered for a reunion. Some of them were pretty young back then too.
21-year-old young acting sub-lieutenant with a 7-ton helicopter, one of these things. Absolutely fantastic, flying a Wessex 5 into battle, loaded up with a dozen Gurkha troops and headed off. We went past the burning hulks of Galahad and Tristram, you'll remember from the coverage of that, and then we went and dropped off our Gurkhas up on the front line. It was just extraordinary. That was my first day, first mission in the Falklands. Amazing responsibility for a young 21-year-old Navy pilot.
The Falklands campaign between April and June 1982 was a relatively short conflict, but significant for Yeovilton. Every single air squadron based there took part, supplying a total of 126 aircraft and more than 1,400 personnel.
Going on board ships and amphibiosity was our bread and butter, so it was vital that we had that experience because the seas in the South Atlantic were demanding. So those Fleet Air Arm Navy flying techniques, practices we had, were vital to allow the flotilla to reposition itself, to get equipment, people, stores on the right ships, and allow us to operate in very difficult conditions.
There were 12 men based here at Yeovilton who died in the Falklands conflict. To remember them, there are 12 trees planted here at the base, each with a stone bearing the name of one of them. And here in the centre, a memorial to all 12 of those men who died in 1982. Some of them were buried at sea, and so these stones serve another purpose, as a place for families to come and pay their respects in the absence of a grave to visit. Veterans have spent the day at Yeovilton today swapping stories. Even the base commanding officer has a few tales to tell.
I was an officer under training. It was sort of exciting, frightening, all those things that people describe. I was in HMS Coventry and I was sunk. The ship went down beneath us, turned over. So I had to, an impromptu swim, so I passed my naval swimming test. So all in all, it was an experience.
The 30th anniversary of the Falklands conflict will be the main theme for this year's Air Day at Yeovilton, which had its press launch today. It's being held earlier than usual this year, on June the 23rd, because of the Olympics. Lynx helicopters from here will be deployed to London during the Games, operating off HMS Ocean in the River Thames, providing security cover. Merlin helicopters from RNAS Culdrose in Cornwall will also be based here at Yeovilton during the Olympics to provide security cover over the sailing events at Weymouth, while colleagues continue to serve overseas in places like Afghanistan. This summer they have a major role to play here at home too. Bob Cruz at RNAS Yeovilton for the West Country Tonight.